In this lesson, I'm going to talk about aggressive trades, okay? You have seen, you must have seen many trade ideas on the website, Don't Forget Online Trading Community, where you will see the levels with this tag, aggressive, okay? And there are many reasons why this term or this tag is added to the imbalances, even though they are really big, okay? And I'm going to explain in detail. I want to try to explain it in detail in this video. I've chosen quite a few cryptocurrencies, also some stocks, I believe, and some forex cross pairs. I mean, these principles and these ideas that I'm going to explain apply to all the markets and all time frames, okay? So it is, irrelevant that most of the assets that I'm going to analyze in this lesson for the aggressive trades are cryptos. It's just that they were the most prominent and the closest imbalances that I saw at the moment of this recording, okay? So as you already know, this is a very strong imbalance. Okay, it accomplished something here, eliminated demand, supply on the left. So we've got it should be like this. So we've got the daily in an uptrend with the trail line, okay, never broken, and it was reached, and the trail line still holding, okay. And it is a very strong imbalance, okay. It's made of 1, 2, 3 continuous consecutive ERC candles. After 3, we wait for the origin, and that happened. And it took about how long? It took 20 days, almost a month, okay, for Tesos, XTZ Teso cryptocurrency to drop down there. And as I explained on the website, it is an aggressive trade. So you might be saying, why is this an aggressive trade? Why? It is a clear daily uptrend. It's also a very strong imbalance, etc., etc. Well, because a single time frame is not enough to make a trading decision. And when I maximize this and I look at the monthly, okay, we have all-time lows on Tesos. So that daily demand, the bigger picture trend is down, okay? The previous supply level played out, a new one has been created where we're expecting full price to rally. So this demand level has been creating after breaking all-time lows and expecting this on the monthly, but it goes against the trend. So you will see the aggressive tag on imbalances, okay, when the previous, the bigger time frames have not consolidated away, if it is counter trend, and or if the level doesn't score that great, okay. So those are more or less the scenarios. Well, we are going to look at many of these scenarios so you understand why it is an aggressive type of trade. So what to do when it is an aggressive type of trade? You wait for some bullishness. You can use the supply and demand intraday course to know what to wait for. If you haven't purchased it, it is available in the store. And there are many ways to trade this, okay? And obviously, if it is an aggressive trade, and in this case a counter trend trade, then you should not risk as much as you usually risk in a textbook trade setup, okay? You should be, risking, imagine that you're risking 1%, well, risk 0.5%. If you're risking 2%, risk 1%. And then you have to manage the positions aggressively. It means that you should move stop loss to break even, or if the stop loss here, which should be there, then maybe stop loss at half of the level. So you manage the trade aggressively, okay? So this is why Tesos is an aggressive trade, okay? And it is because it goes against the trend. We are just assuming that this is going to be the reversal, which probably will be, okay? Because after very strong sell-off of more than 3 ERC candles, we're expecting this. So we are now trying to assume this is going to happen. It would have been greater if price would have reached the supply level there and then created new areas of supply to sell, like this one, but upside down, okay? So this is Tesos, okay? So the next one is another crypto, Mina. So I believe it should be on QCoin. No, there it is. Yeah, there. Okay, so this is what we've got. Remember Tesos? Okay, so I'm gonna put Tesos there. So to do that, I'm going to disable the symbol synchronization. I'm going to add Tesos there, and I'm going to change. Well, I think I have to disable the time frame too. Interval crosshair, no, okay, interval. So here I'm going to choose the daily. Okay, good. So now look at this. Mina, you remember Tesos, 3 ERCs waiting for the pullback to rally, okay? And we have a strong daily demand level, which is exactly the same as in Tesos. So this scenario on Mina, okay, is exactly the same, but the imbalance has been eliminated. As you can see, price dropped down there, and we didn't have any bullish price action, and we want to wait for bullish price action. You can use the intraday course, okay, for this. Remember that. So this one was not a valid. I mean, it was a great demand level on the daily, 3 ERCs, the same as Tesos, okay? But we didn't have any bullishness. And remember, it's all-time lows. We are expecting the reversal, okay? And it is a much better option to wait for the bigger picture, for the bigger time frame on the monthly. 3 months in a downtrend, month in a downtrend. The weekly is no longer in an uptrend, okay? It's out of alignment. But here we also have no consolidation away on the weekly, okay? And the daily demand level on Mina was right there. So it's not a good idea, okay? We need to wait for, okay? And this is an example of two exact scenarios on 2 similar cryptos with a month in a downtrend, 3 years is on the monthly, 3 years is on the daily. On Mina, it didn't play out. 3 years is on Tesos, and it's trying to play out, okay? Not too many levels have been eliminated on the daily like this. Many of them are holding, okay? But it's better to have at least the support of demand levels. So, and I'm going to reset this. So this is a big difference, as you can see. So I'm gonna think it should be symbol synced, crosshair synced. So and now let's take a look at a different imbalance. And this is, like I said, this is why it is an invalid. It was an aggressive type of trade, and also it was invalid because we didn't have any bullish price action. But if we take a look at Doge, for example, look at the difference between Tesos, Mina, and Doge. Okay, and we could be talking about Netflix, Facebook, and Visa. It's irrelevant. Price action is exactly the same. I mean, it's these imbalances are created on all time frames and on all assets, ETFs, stocks, crypto, forex, futures, commodities, everything. Okay, every market. So look at Doge. Okay, on Doge, it's a different scenario. Why? Because Doge, we've got a month in an uptrend, the weekly is in an uptrend, demand is in control. Okay, I just updated the video, the analysis on this one, and created a video, recorded a video, I shared in the community, and this is a demand level, okay, which is not the strongest one, but at least we do have the weekly demand level in control, and the weekly is in an uptrend, whereas Tesos, okay. Whereas Tesos, we have a clear downtrend, and we are just expecting the pump, okay? And we assume that this is going to play out. But when we go to Mina, which is the same scenario, it didn't play out. It was eliminated, and it was as strong. So when we go to Doge, like I said, the difference between Doge, Mina, and Tesos is that this one is not an aggressive type of trade, okay? The weekly was, because there was no consolidation away in the 3 months, but it's playing out. We had some bullishness, and then we go long, okay? But here in the daily, we are expecting the same thing. So you can see the difference. Doge has the weekly in an uptrend and demand in control, whereas Tesos and Mina do not have an uptrend and they do not have any demand in control. It's breaking all-time lows and trying to, okay, let me go back. Mina and Tesos broke all-time lows in the monthly, creating a new supply level, and now we are assuming that this is going to happen. And that's why it is an aggressive type of trade. So there are 3 different assets, Tesos, Mina, and Dodge. And you can see, I mean, how I am putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Let's take a look at another one. This is Move R. And let's discuss. This is a different scenario. It's not an aggressive type of trade because the demand level is in control, but we can call this an aggressive type of trade too because we have the trend line now broken, okay? But as you can see here, more or less, what this one sticks like that, it's very complicated. So the right before the this is why it's an aggressive trade. Right before the trend line is broken, sorry, the demand level is reached, we have a full candle over there broken. So, and we have a brand new level of supply created, and this is why it is an aggressive type of trade now. We have this strong monthly demand level, we are expecting this, but this one could not hold and it could drop down there to that daily demand level where I'm going to set an alert right now, okay? Because it's, one sec, yeah, because like I said, 3 years is, and when price drops into that level, drops down there is a full candle without touching it, okay? So now if we are long in this particular trade, we should be managing our position, at least like stop loss, half of the level or break even, but that's what we should be doing, okay? We have a very strong imbalance on the monthly. Look at the strength of that level. So it's higher probability than Tesos, than Mina, and and Dodge has even higher probability because Dodge is got a weekly uptrend with demand in control in the weekly. So this is why MoveR is an aggressive type of trade. Let's take a look at Polkadot, one of the important ones too. So Polkadot, why is this an aggressive type of trade? Okay, as you can see here on the daily time frame, the trend line, this is different to what happened with the previous one, MoveR, because the demand level was reached before, okay, before the trend line breaks and creates that level of supply. We also have the demand level here on the weekly in control. But why is it an aggressive type of trade too? Because we have a monthly in a downtrend, you see? Month is in a downtrend, new supply level, all-time low. So we are expecting, like on Tesos, for this particular asset, crypto, to rally, okay? Expecting the monthly supply level to be reached without any demand level, only the weekly in supporting it. So this one is higher probability than the other ones that I mentioned. Why? Because the weekly demand level did consolidate away, the weekly price action consolidated away and created an imbalance, whereas in the other ones that we have discussed, one of them, I don't remember the name right now because we have been analyzing like 4 or 5, it did not consolidate away. So this one is also an aggressive type of trade, okay? Because we are assuming that now what happened here? We are assuming that this demand level will be the one that, changes the market dynamics after breaking all-time lows. Like I said, everything is done. We should be looking to sell, okay? If we go long, it should be an aggressive type of trade. If the previous or bigger time frame imbalances do not consolidate away, in this case they did, it should be an aggressive type of trade. So anything that goes against the textbook setup in a trend following the realignment scenario with great imbalances in control, everything that doesn't comply or follow those rules should be considered aggressive. As simple as that. Okay? So this is Polkadot. Let's take a look at another one, which is Slurf. Oops. slurve. So why is slurve also an aggressive type of trade? Okay. Why don't I have an alert down there? One sec. Okay, why is it an aggressive type of trade? Well, because we do have a monthly in a downtrend, and 3 months is trying to create a new supply level up there, not yet there. Okay, trying to reach, though, it's the same scenario as Tesos and the other ones, Mina. It's the same thing. We have a very strong imbalance over there, so probably it will drop down there and then from there start reacting. So this is again, I mean, against the trend. We are assuming that probably this was a demand level over there. It didn't even it did consolidate away or not? Probably, yeah, it didn't. Well, yes, it did with that red candle, very poor imbalance. And yes, it was an imbalance. So now we've got the daily is no longer in an uptrend. Okay, so these imbalances there, we don't even have an uptrend on the daily anymore. Okay, so this one is even more aggressive than the other ones, because at least on Tesos and a couple more that we analyzed, we did have a daily uptrend and the level was very strong. It was even stronger than this one, because the other ones had 3 ERCs and this one has only 2 ERCs. But this one could play out and the other ones might not. Okay, so this is slurve. The other one I'm going to look at is Sandog. I just want to go over as many as possible so you understand why the aggressive tag is added. So why is this one an aggressive top trade? I mentioned this one on the Trading Academy. Well, we've got a daily in an uptrend. The previous demand level played out. This is another one, and we can see bullishness here in the monthly, which gives this aggressive type of trade. Well, it's not that aggressive, but it is an aggressive type of trade because we've got a monthly in a downtrend trying to reach the monthly supply level where we should be thinking of going short. Okay, but instead we have on the daily new demand levels on the daily played out. That one played out. This one trend line was broken, and a new demand level, a CP, took control. It's playing out. And why is it an aggressive type of trade? Because it goes against the trend. Okay, so the lesson explains what you should be doing. If you have the intraday course, you know how to work on how to trade there, what to wait for. Okay, and we are expecting price to reach the monthly supply level on Sandog. Okay, the next one is going to be NEO. Why NEO is an aggressive type of trade? Well, because we have the monthly in a downtrend, weekly supply levels in control, the weekly didn't consolidate away, so that's why the daily demand level is aggressive. But it is not as aggressive. There are we could say that there are several levels of aggressivity, okay? But at least we've got 3 months demand level in control, which is a good thing, okay? To support longs, whereas on the other ones, like I said, Tesos, Mina, etc., we don't have anything, right? Not a single demand level. We're just expecting. Imagine this scenario with nothing on the left. Yeah, Tesos is like that. Okay, there's nothing to support the longs. Okay, at least we have 3 months demand level on the previous one, on NEO. Okay, and this is why it's an aggressive type of trade, because we have the monthly in a downtrend, the weekly's in a downtrend. Well, the weekly's out of alignment, but we still have the monthly in a downtrend. The only thing that supports this long is the 3 months, but at least we have something to support this aggressive type of trade. Okay, so this is NEO. OGN is the next one. So OGN, we've got same scenario as Tesos. This one played out. Okay, this one 3 years, but again, all-time lows, month in a downtrend, previous demand supply level played out, new supply level. Short should be up there and not thinking of longs. And now, as you can see, we have a brand new level of supply over there, so we should be managing our position aggressively because it could drop farther. Remember, we have a long-term downtrend. and we don't have bullishness as we had on the previous one, which was, I believe, the previous one, the Sandog, I believe, okay, with a monthly price action. So OGN is an aggressive type of trade because of that, okay, and there are better options out there. Doge is a better option, Sushi swap, Uni swap, Sushi, Uni, so those are better, okay, but not this one. It could play out, yes, but look where we don't have any margin for management with this strong bearish impulse over there, okay, with the engulfing pattern. So this is OGN, SCR, scroll. Why? You're gonna know what I'm gonna say. So month in a downtrend. So we are expecting this, obviously. But what happens here is that we have a daily demand level, very strong, similar to Tesla's, but the trend line is broken. A new level of supply has been created. But the trend line wasn't broken, okay? What was broken after, once this candle there is created. So it was broken out of alignment right there. The trade was already running. So what should we do now? We should protect our investment, because remember, we have a downtrend, okay? And 3 months and the monthly. And the good thing about this one is that at least we have weekly consolidated in a way and a weekly demand level too, with the largest ERC candle in a long time. So this is helping. So you need to analyze all that. Weekly doesn't consolidate away. Bad thing, okay? But if it does, and if it also creates a demand level, then it supports the longs, okay? Much, much more than those that do not have that type of price action. So remember, no consolidation away, not a good idea. The lesson explains this very, very clearly. So this is scroll, okay? So on Harmony 1, we've got similar scenario. And what happened here? Okay, in this scenario, I mean, look at this. You see that there is no consolidation away on the weekly, and if we go to the previous one, that was consolidation away and created demand level. So there's a difference. So no consolidation away, it's not a good idea. And then we had the strong imbalance on the daily. Trend line would be like this. It would be broken, but it was broken right when the demand level was reached. Okay, so this one was an aggressive type of trade. It was eliminated, but it didn't give us any bullish price action. It broke it without giving us any bullish price action. As I say, always waiting for some bullish price action. I didn't give it to us. And if you have the intraday course, you will see that there were no signals there. We want something very, very clear. So nothing available there. And this is why that was an aggressive type of trade that, if you're still on that one, it shouldn't have been broken. Well, it was broken, but the stop loss should be like 25%. So if you divide underneath, if you divide this by 4, I mean 25% should be like around there. So the trade should still be alive. And if you took that trade, you should manage the position or even close it for a break even or a very small loss. Okay, but adding the stop loss is important. On the weekly, we didn't have any consolidation away. We don't have any demand levels, so it was not a good idea to trade this one, trying to reach the 3 months every demand where we can start thinking of going long. So this is one. Harmony. GRT. This is another one. So GRT, what do we have here? Again, the trend line was broken, but we would have been on the trade already, okay? And look where it is. There's no demand level in control. The weekly didn't consolidate away, and the trend line is now broken. So we don't have any demand level in control. We are just expecting price to rally, okay? So that's why this is an aggressive type of trade. Even though it looks great, there are better ones that do have weekly demand in control, or monthly demand in control, or 3 months, or something in control that gives us more support and higher probability to demand levels in the smaller time frames like this one on GRT. So if you are long on this one, you should be managing the position aggressively. Okay, so this is GRT. So on On this one, the thinner, I posted it this morning for the first time because, and this is an unclear scenario and tricky scenario. Why? Because as you can see in the 3 months, no demand level, no demand level on the monthly, no demand level on the weekly. There's nothing. So this is just very strong impulse, and now we've got a demand level on the daily that took control. And this is why it's an aggressive type of trade. We've got a daily in an uptrend. Trend line is being respected. Demand level is being respected. It only has 2 ERCs, which is perfect. 3 is even better. But we have nothing supporting it. So this is why it is an aggressive type of trade. We have no demand level, no imbalance in control that supports. Okay? We want something. Okay? If we are going against everything, try to have at least some bigger time frame in control, at least. Okay? The strength of the impulse is important, but as you can see, many of them are eliminated because it goes against the trend. Okay? So this is that one. So let's take a look at now stock. This one. So why is this one? So I'm going to use it here because that's where I have the bigger time frame analysis and demand level. So we've got 3 months demand level in control, 12 months demand level in control and everything. So, okay, why is this an aggressive type of trade on the monthly? And it is playing out, okay? Because at the time when price was reaching that level over there, look at the bearishness of that candlestick. The highway candle looks super strong, bearish, pink candle. So going long is all that is the bearish pink candle on the 3 months. So it's aggressive because of that. We would have wanted a more slow approach, okay, like this one, instead of having that bearish pink candle. So price action will also dictate how aggressive a trade is. Opposing price action, very strong opposing price action. I hope that you understand this. So it's playing out. So we should have waited for bullishness down there. You can use the intraday course to take longs over here. We have bullish price action and then it's trying to rally. Okay, so this is UNF, UNF, Uni First Corporation stock. Okay, now we are going to take a look at another one. I believe this was, where is this? GLMR, another crypto. Why is this one an aggressive type of trade? Well, I'm going to pause for a few seconds and you're going to know what I'm going to say about the monthly. Just think about it. Counter trend. We are expecting this. So this goes against the trend the same way that the previous one goes against the trend. Okay? There is at least consolidation away on the weekly. So we've got a weekly demand level in control too. So that gives a little bit more probability to this type of trade, but it is an aggressive type of trade. We want to go short up there, not long here. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, so I believe that with these samples, you should know more or less what I'm going to say when I say it and why an aggressive type of trade is added. I mean, to the imbalance, and you should know with the intraday course, you should know how and what to wait for at that daily demand level over there. And we are going to look at Pound Cat, for example. Pound Cat. Okay. There. That's an aggressive type of trade. Okay. Aggressive. Why? So let me explain why. Well, 3 months an uptrend, month is in an uptrend, week is in an uptrend, and the daily still in an uptrend. So that's why this is an aggressive trade. I mean, you or we could be, or we would be attempting to go short, okay, with everything in an uptrend, okay? So that's why this is an aggressive type of trade. It goes against the trend, so anything against the trend should be aggressive, and it shouldn't be traded with as many lots as a trade that goes with the trend. So down there, it should be great to go long. Set and forget. The same way that it's great, I even recorded a video for the euro versus the pound, okay, where we had a strong demand level on the weekly and also on the daily, and now we've caught a demand level there on the 4 hour, okay? So this is not an aggressive type of trade. It's a great trade. I mean, weekly uptrend, demand in control, played out, new demand level in control, playing out, a new demand level on the 4 hour. So there's no aggressivity here. But on the pound cut, come on, weekly in an uptrend, daily in an uptrend, monthly in an uptrend, so you want to go short. So this is the kind of thing that you have to pay attention to. This level should be wider, sorry. To pay attention to, because, I mean, I prefer to patiently wait for the demand level down there on the weekly, like I did on the euro pound. Okay? It's all about patience, okay? Or on the euro versus the kiwi, the demand level is still playing out, okay? I need demand levels on the 4 hour. Sorry, this should be like this. Or no, I even posted it. I don't know why this was deleted. So, and this is how it is. So if we take a look at the euro cut, it's probably going to be similar scenario, okay? So, on the euro cut versus the pound cut, so anything that goes against the trade should be an aggressive type of trade. So we had like oil up there, and that one is played out very poor. Okay, this is a demand level, new demand level playing out. I was mentioning on the Trading Academy. So everything is in an uptrend. This is an aggressive type of trade. Why? Because look where it is on the monthly, and look where it is in the weekly. Okay, but at least it's long. I mean, not short. On the pound cut, we were thinking, or the analysis is like supply level on the 4 hour, remember? To go short with when everything's in an uptrend. So when we look at the euro cut, it's a different thing. I mean, this is an aggressive type of trade. Yes. Okay. Why is it an aggressive type of trade? Because look at the price action on the daily, price action on the weekly. I mean, it's at balance, no consideration way. But at least is along, I mean, or buying. But on the pound cut, you are selling with everything in an uptrend. You see the difference. So that's what you need to pay attention to. So it's better to wait patiently for the trend setups, and that's it. There are many Forex cross pairs, okay? Most of them are highly correlated. There are many cryptos, the altcoins are highly correlated, and I mean, stocks too, but there are different sectors and industries. So it is very important that you consider that, obviously. If this is here on the euro cut, whatever you do there, I mean, after a very strong rally, we're waiting for the pullback. Okay, same way here, strong rally, pullback, and then it was retested again. So we are waiting for this. So anything, I mean, short is not a good idea. And look at this, this could be an imbalance, probably, okay? But if it is not an imbalance, it's a decent impulse, okay? On the weekly, and it is reacting to it. So at least we have impulses, we have still bullishness on the bigger time frame, etc. So at least, and we are thinking of going long aggressively and not shorts, okay? And this is it. So this is more or less, I mean, a broad explanation of some of the latest assets that I've shared with you. So now you should be able to understand why the aggressive tag is added, okay? And it's always better to wait for the bigger time frame imbalance. It's always way better to have a bigger time frame imbalance in control and then wait for new imbalances instead of just buying, expecting a pump or dump like on Tezos or Mina and all the others, it's Slurf. And it's like waiting. I mean, it's like, for example, we have Mudeng. On this one is trying to play out shorts, okay? Because we've got a supply level there on the monthly trying to play out, okay? So could we go long down here on the daily? Well, this is an aggressive type of trade, you know? Aggressive type of trade. Why? Because it goes against the monthly. But it could be one of the targets, the monthly level, which is playing out. From there, could be first target there, second target at the bottom where we have a demand level on the weekly. Okay, so it's like going long now here on the daily with the monthly supply level in control is stupid. You know what I mean? It's not a good idea. It goes against the bigger picture downtrend. So, and this is it. Hopefully you will understand much better now what to do, and why the aggressive tag is added. Have a great day.